Uh, Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Something went wrong. Life is nothing but an illusion. You know, to make money for fucking stuff. Life is nothing but a fucking illusion. It's like you work hard and you have no ownership of anything. You know, you have no ownership of anything because you work hard. It's like every day we are being used for somebody's greed. The manipulation, the manipulation of being a hard worker for something you can't even own. The illusion that we own, you know, the illusions that we own shit on this fucking planet. Because life is an illusion. We, it's like I always question: is this real? You know, is it worth my time? Is it worth my time being a slave to this greedy ass backwards planet? Humanity are nothing but zombies. Humanities are nothing but zombies. When it comes to money, humanities are the true zombies of life. Because I see zombies everywhere. Hey, yeah, it didn't work because I was showing them how government works. And Jordan Maxwell breaks down government to the T because everything in this reality is based on rituals. Everything. Saturn, the moon, the sun. It's all astrological. Everything of our life is based on astrology. We're just slaves to the people who believes in Saturn. Our justice system is Saturn based. Religion is sun, the moon, and Saturn. And it's like, and the 12 zodiacs are just directions. Yeah. Yeah. It's all sad. It's like the judge that wears the black robe. We wear black robes when we graduate. It's all based on Saturn. you know. And then and it's all maritime. Our laws are based on maritime, the water. This is liquid ass. This is liquid, according to Jordan. This is liquid, you know, and everything around us is based on water, maritime law of water, and yeah, the new alliance coming. The new alliance is kind of like changing everything. And then the law of the land. I don't know. The law of the land and law of the water. It's like, it's just, to me, it's nothing but slavery. You know, to me, the land and the water is slavery to me because they're always going to create a new slave system based on, right now, our laws are based on water. Asset. It's funny about how we talk and the words that we speak. The banks is water. It's weird. Banks it's strange. It's like everything around us is, if you think about it, it's water based. Because well, the gods that the Vatican, a man came out of the water and start talking to. And that's why the Vatican wears the fish hat, you know, because it's based on water, based on a. I think a human being talked to a mermaid, and the mermaid was telling the man about the laws of water, you know. So now they brought the laws of water out here. There is mermaids. They do exist, and they're amongst us. They can come and go on and off the water, you know. There's a lot of things on this planet that we humans kind of ignore in this reality, because this reality, there's a lot of mythology that we ignore. And then there are technology out there that are so ancient, but they're so more advanced than this so-called modern society, you know. I wouldn't call us modern society. I hate hearing the word modern, because we're not modern at all. We're not even close to being modern. If you're water if you based your greed on water, it's like, and then you keep us enslaved according to the maritime laws, you know, then I wouldn't call ourselves modern, because the whole objective for us is not to become modern. They just give you the illusion of the word modern, you know. And it's kind of strange that we call ourselves modern, because we're nothing close to being modern compared to the extraterrestrials that comes down here that observes us. And the Greys, they're just nothing but little robots, organic robots. We're similar in a strange way. We're almost similar to the Greys, but we have a spirit inside of us, you know. We do have a spirit inside. That's what we are kind of unique in our own way, you know, because we got we got like 42 different genetics from 42 different, you know, aliens, extraterrestrial species, and they've been enhancing themselves by using our DNA, you know, our body parts. You know, it's like a junk. We're like a junkyard on this fucking planet. You know, it's like, okay, it's like a buffet of human beings that, you know, it's strange. But some extraterrestrial have mixture of animal in them too, which is really cool. Which is, I don't know, make they they did they did they did test us with animals. We had, you know, we had a man in a horse body, you know, the Minotaur, the man with the goat's body, you know, and religious people look at them like they're devils, or they came from the, you know, it's weird how we have a weird perspective on how they keep us suppressed and not seeing all this shit, you know. Because there's more to this world than just us human beings, and we call it gross if we see if we see a human being, half animal, half human being. You know, we see that gross, but in reality, they've been doing this for billions of years. They've been doing this for billions of years, and now all of a sudden they come to to the point to these bodies. You know, these bodies. It's like they come down to the point to these bodies, and you have to question. You know, they wanted to make the perfect slave. You know, Maybe that's either that. It's according to the ETs, this is just a learning place. We're supposed to learn, but how could you learn anything if you have greedy ass motherfuckers that profit? How could you learn anything? Working hard. It's like what's so learning? I have to question what's the point of working hard, and then your mind, and then you got all these fucking different pressures and anxiety. The people that feed off each other's fear. How it's supposed to be a planet where we're supposed to learn. Learn nature. We're supposed to learn about nature. We're supposed to learn about be one with the planet. Basically, I think that's the whole. It comes down to that, And then all of a sudden, somebody comes down on the planet, interferes, and fucks it all up, and then all of a sudden, everything went fucking to hell, went fucking to shit, and all that shit. And they start experimenting, and they start doing all kinds of shit to us. And some of them don't want us to leave the planet. I found out we are quarantined. One by the reptilians, and another one by some other extraterrestrial, that quarantined us. So I was like, but they have us off planet. So they took some of us. They kidnapped some of the human beings, and they then they use us off planet. As slaves. They treat that. I heard a lot of mistreatment going on off planet. I heard ETs. I heard ETs does the same thing to us. Yeah. It's ridiculous, when you listen, when you hear all the shit from the dark fleet, how they mistreat their human beings, reptilians are mean motherfuckers. I'm telling you, the ones in the dark fleet, the reptilians are the mean motherfuckers there. They don't treat human beings like humans, We don't get treated like anything else. I realize we're so mistreated in this world. We're so It's like we're so we tolerate a lot of abuse. This human beings tolerate a lot of abuse, mentally, physically. It's funny how our world is, how this world is. How much mistreatment do we get? We can't even take care of our own selves. So they taught us. We're so influenced by certain ETs out there that misinfluence us, that kind of like shows us it's so selfish on how we are taught. Because I think the reptilian side made us selfish. Made us self-serving. Yeah, exactly, Christine. They use us. We're so manipulated. It's so bad at how bad we're so manipulated. And then I realized that the system that we live in is very abusive. The system that we live in is very abusive, and it's like I hate waking up every day. Today I didn't want to get out of bed. Today I just stayed in bed all day. That's all I did. I took a nap. I stayed in bed all fucking day, and it's like I didn't want to come on live, do this live video. I didn't want to come in. It's like the more I learn about this world, the more I realize it's just an illusion. We're just playing a fucking game. The survival of the fittest game. That's what it's called. We're all out here to fucking fuck each other. We're all out here to it's like we're all out here. It's like we're not like one. Because I remember oneness. I do remember oneness. We're all one. But they kind of like they fuck with our head and they you know they call it separation. They separated us because we're easy when we're separated. We're easy to control. You know, so they created different groups, different groups, different cultures, different everything, and it's all by design. So we go against each other in this world, and it's like it's just and then I realized it's under Roman. I heard Roman law. I mean the Romans the Roman Empire is still here. You know, but it goes further way back now. It's like now I listen to Jordan. It's like now it goes all the way back to the Sumerian days. It goes back 60, 70,000 years. How we were once monkeys and then they modified us, and this is how we become. We evolved. We evolved pretty fast because they kind of like mess with our genetics, and we evolved way too fast. Because according to the reptilians, their evolvement was more like hundreds and thousands of years. It's like a slow evolvement, but it's the way it works is you're supposed to be with your environment. You're supposed to be one with your environment. You shouldn't you adjust to the environment that you're on, but not destroy the environment, because I think that's when they tampered with us, with our genetics. So they tampered with our genetics, and also now we're evolving so fast. It's like they want us to evolve fast, which is weird. It's like, but I don't think I think there's so many. So I look at myself as a spirit, since I've been through so many different humanoid-like bodies. I've been through so many humanoid-like bodies, not just human, not just being human, but off planet too. So it's weird because in reality, I'm not really human. I'm really some kind of energy. Sorry. Technically, I wouldn't be human, because if I was in other bodies from off planets, then I'm just an energy being inside this fucking container, because this is what it is. It's just a container. And all I'm doing is playing the games with you fuckers out there. All you energy type beings out there are so brainwashed, and you don't realize, these are just containers. They just threw us in containers, and I think these containers do evolve, and it's like they want us to be in these containers. It's like it's just they can transfer our body. They can transfer you from this container to another container to a clone. But this is a clone. This is the old version of a clone. We are the old version. Well, no, we're not the old. We're like the new version, but there are older versions of us as hybrid clones. Because we are in their image. These ETs, these extraterrestrials, they're human-like. They're humanoids. But they're a little taller, because there's a reason why we're smaller. Because it's easier to control if we're smaller, if you look at it, and we're more vulnerable when we're small, because usually extraterrestrial are usually between 17, between 9 and 15 feet high. Reptilians are taller too, and they're built. They're more tougher than we are compared to the human. It's like these bodies here are more vulnerable. These bodies are so vulnerable, but only problem about us is we reproduce. They design us to reproduce in these fucking bodies. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I thought about what it's like being human is like, I mean, yeah, we're good at building shit. That's one thing about us. We're good at building shit. We're good at making music. We're good at, you know, we can be pushed as human beings. Our brains can grow, yeah, brains can grow, like you see in some comic books with the guy with a big brain and all that stuff. But for me, it's kind of weird. It's like the abilities that we have, they are so suppressed within inside us. We have abilities, but they're so suppressed within inside us, and I feel it. It's like I've been activated. There's a reason why I'm been activated. And it's like I could feel a little of it. I don't feel the full potential of what the abilities can do, but it's like there is awakening process for human beings. Human beings need to wake up and really see their reality for what it is, because the reality is you've been fooled. We all been fooled on this fucking planet. We've all been, our learning process is really way off. This is not a learning process. It's more of a slavery learning. But they said that the more torture we get, the way it works is that the more torture we get, the more we evolve faster. Which is kind of weird because I've been through a lot of torture. If you combine all the tortures of all my past lives that I had, from all the past lives, but only a stupid human being don't believe in, stupid human beings are the ones who don't believe in past lives, because you've been somebody else before in one of your lives, and people don't realize, you wake up one day and you're in another body. It's funny about that. It's like you wake up one day and you're in another body and say, "What the fuck?" You're crying like a little baby again. You become the baby all over again. It's strange how we live, how we're treated. Oh, well, here we go. Here we go. It's funny about Enjoy Bro, You're nothing but a zombie, Enjoy Bro. That's what you are. You're just a zombie. This is Joy Bro. Oh, I'm a dumb zombie. Oh, I'm gonna go work. Oh, I'm gonna do the same shit every fucking day. Oh, you're a mental health person because this is what I do every day because this is what life is supposed to be. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what Enjoy Bro is. I'm just laughing at his fucking face, how fucking idiotic, and he's a fucking idiot. This is the best example of how you control a human being. The one who told me I had to go see I have a mental health issue. This is exactly what a controlled human being is. Enjoy Bro is the best example for who loves being controlled. He thinks he's free. Yeah, Enjoy Bro thinks he feels like he's free, but he's not. He likes to live in the illusion of freedom because you're not really free. That's your problem, Enjoy Bro, because you don't want to see through the illusion. You don't want to hear the illusion. You want to stay a zombie for the rest of your life, and then you're gonna go the way it works, Joy Boy. When you die, right? You're going to go through the light, and then you're going to be recycled back into another human body. That's exactly how it works. You come into life, you work, and then that's all you do. You work, you come into life, and you work, and you make money, and then you die, and then you go back, and then you start all over again. So it's like you're not learning shit. It shows you how much a sleeper you are. A sleeper. We'll call you a sleeper because you always will be a sleeper because you will not wake up and not really see this reality for what it is. Because you're the reality that you think this is normal. You know, when you see this is a problem with you, Enjoy Bro. You believe this is normal, but in reality, it's not normal. You know, the universe doesn't revolve around you, Enjoy Bro. That's all I can say. The universe does not revolve around your normality because everything about you are so off. Because it's like it shows you how much an idiot you are because you don't know you don't know nothing about the universe. Only thing you like to do is stay in your little box because it's comfortable. You know, I'm breaking you down, Joy Bro, because you love staying in your little box. You know, that's what you are. You just like to stay in the cage. That's what you are. That's what you're in, a cage. You know, living in the illusion, and you don't want to come out of the cage because you're afraid. You're always going to stay in that cage because you love the cage. So yeah, you're not awake. You're just another zombie like any other zombie in this fucking planet. You know? Yeah, I think you need help. I look at it this way, Enjoy Bro. I think you're the one who needs more help than I do because you're never gonna come out of this. You know, you're gonna always stay in this, and then when things start to happen, I'm gonna tell you, Enjoy Bro. When you see weird shit coming, you better brace yourself. I'm going to tell you this right now, Enjoy Bro. When you see weird shit coming, you better embrace yourself because it's going to shock the shit out of you. I'm going to let you know, Enjoy Bro. Prepare yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Prepare yourself because a lot of weird shit's going to come here, and you're not even. You think everything is normal. You know, there's going to be a change here, and this change is gonna offset your world. You know, it's gonna offset your normality. See, that's one thing I feel sorry for the people who think this world is normal. You know, the ones who telling me I need to go see a mental health hospital. You wonder you wonder what's you know, you got to understand it's like the ones who think I need to go see mental health, those are the ones I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for those people, you know, because they're always going to be blind. They're always gonna live in their. They're gonna always live in their illusion, and that's why they're so easily controlled. You know, Enjoy Bro is so easily controlled. He doesn't even aware that he is controlled. You know, he doesn't because he likes to listen to his music. You know, he wants to listen to his music. He wants to listen to the politics. And then it's funny. I found out the rich assholes are all pedophiles. You know, when you work for pedophiles. Enjoy Robe. You know, all your rich assholes, the elites, they're all pedophiles. You know, this money, came from a pedophile. You know, all the people and child sacrificing. You know, it's funny. You die. You will work for somebody to die. You know, that's the way it works. That's the reality of it. You know, it's strange that he can't even see that world. He doesn't want to see that world because he wants to be in denial. This is an example. This is a good example of a person that lives in denial. He doesn't want to see the real world that's under him. You know, there are worlds under him, and he's living in a blind eye. You know, he doesn't realize that all the ones who create your jobs are all pedophiles and they all child sacrifice. You know, and it's funny about your politics. You know, Bush, they're all pedophiles. Clintons, they're all pedophiles. And they all live in this secret society, you know, and you're calling me fucking mental. Look at you, Enjoy Bro. You're the one who's mental. You're the one who doesn't want to hear that shit. Because it's true. And it's coming out. There's gonna be over 80,000 indictments on politics. You know, your politicians, your fucking presidents, they're all corrupt. They're all controlled. They're all puppets. And here's Enjoy Bro wants to live in his fucking denial. He's a typical zombie. You know, it's funny about Enjoy Bro. I can break you down and how much a zombie you are. You know, you go in there, you do your 9 to 5 job every fucking day. You do the same shit. You don't learn nothing when you do your 9 to 5 job. You know, and then they put you on pressure and they put you stress. The whole objective of this planet is to put fear on you. It feeds off the fear. I mean, that's what the bro is part of it. And he enjoys the domination and fear. He enjoys people. He enjoys having people suffer. He likes suffering because that's why he wants to keep the illusion going, because everybody else should suffer. If he's going to suffer, everybody else should suffer too. And the word free offends Enjoy Bro. The word free, and when Joy Bro says, no way, you can't do that. Joy, that shows you how manipulated Joy Bro is. He can't. He doesn't want to hear the word free. You have to work hard for it. So you got to work for a greedy ass, child molesting, elite, rich asshole to work hard for it. That's what you're telling me. So don't call me fucking mental. I think you're a mental case yourself right now. Enjoy, bro. You need to go take some pills and wake up. Because if you don't wake up, you're gonna be in a shock. Because there's gonna be a lot of things down here that you're not prepared for. Right now, all I'm doing is just preparing you guys, for something that's gonna be something you can't understand. Because this world, what's funny about Enjoy, bro? You have a fucking space fleet. You have a space fleet. Humanity is separated right now. So you have a space fleet. And they abduct human beings, they abduct children to join their fleet, and then they go through a 20-year process to be in that fleet. So the corporation has taken over all kinds of bullshit. They've been abusive to human beings in this fucking space fleet. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit, Enjoy Blood, that you're gonna be shocked. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your face. Enjoy Blood. I can't wait to see your fucking face. If you're young, I'm hoping that you're in like your 20s or 30s. It's like I can't wait to see your face. See, because they're gonna come out. These beings that created us. These beings. There are beings out there that's gonna come out. And you're going to say, what the fuck? And then you're going to say, what do I do? What's going to happen? And then you realize that you're a slave on prison planet Earth. Yeah, it's funny. Prison planet, that's why I call Earth a prison planet, because the way they do us, they put human versus human. And then turn around, you do a lot of bad shit in this fucking planet. You have you got child trafficking on you'd have child trafficking on this fucking planet. You're telling me that's normal? This is exactly what Enjoy Bro wants to ignore, because he rather have somebody be kidnapped. And he doesn't have to worry about it. That's basically how our system works. We're supposed to ignore this shit and not think about this shit. And then Enjoy Bro would be the type where he doesn't. If they don't mess with him, it's okay. I don't have to be messed with. All I want to do is do my job. But what if they took your children, Enjoy Bro, and you wouldn't even know they took your children? Because the way they do it, they'll fucking they'll wipe your mind away, and you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know if you had children. That's the way it works. It's like it's funny how stupid you are, because you don't realize this world. There's multiple worlds within this world. And it's funny about religious people. They don't want to learn because they think there is one God, but they don't realize there are one gods. Are many gods. They're all extraterrestrial, and they're the one who created us. That's how stupid Enjoy Bro is. That's how fucking idiotic he is. He doesn't realize that the gods, there are more than one gods. The extraterrestrial beings, they created us to be. That's why you think of gold in your fucking head. You think about money on your fucking head. That's a programming within your own body. That shows you how ignorant Enjoy Bro is. He doesn't know he's been programmed. And it's funny, human beings can be programmed easily, and you wouldn't even notice you are being programmed. And it's funny it's weird how this world works. If you live on a pyramided system, why? I have to question Enjoy Bro. Why do you have a pyramidal system? And then all of a sudden they create a law that no one's not allowed to create a pyramid system. So you have to ask that question, why? So I question life. I question this life. I question everything about this life. I question you, Enjoy Bob. It seems like you don't know what life is. Only thing you care about is making fucking this fake dollar bill, because this money is not fucking real. This is a Masonic money. And it's funny about, you have a pyramid right on your fucking dollar bill. And it's funny how you guys brag about it all the time. And it's every day they're in front of your fucking face. It's funny about that. Every fucking day they're in their fucking face, and they shove it in front of your fucking face in your everyday life. Especially gas companies. When you see the Exxon, you have a Masonic symbol on the Exxon. It's like Mason. It's like there's secret society everywhere, especially in big, huge corporations, especially the gas companies. It's like New York has a lot of Masonic symbols down there. It's like they shove it in your fucking face every fucking day. And it's like, this shows you how dumb Enjoy Bro is. It's like he's not even aware that everything around him, every little thing, the words that you say, everything about your life is based on them. Luciferians, they like to stick out like a sore thumb. They like shoving their shit in front of your face, and you wouldn't even know it. You can see that in New York City. The Twin Towers. You can go, they shove that right in your fucking face, and you wouldn't even fucking know it. This shows you how idiotic Enjoy Bro is. You think I have a mental problem? Look at him. He needs to go see a psychiatrist or something. He needs somebody to help him, because he doesn't really see what this reality is. Come on, Enjoy Bro. I could talk for hours about this shit. I love talking about this shit. The pyramid system. We live under a pyramid system. It's funny. It shows you how really stupid you are, because you're not even aware that we're under a pyramid system. And it's funny. It's illegal to have a pyramid system. So corporations are running illegally if we go according to their laws. So yeah, they're breaking. They create the laws and they break the laws. It's okay. It's okay for them to break the law, but it's not okay for us to break the law. They can get. It's funny. The ones on top doesn't have to obey the law. The ones on top doesn't have to obey the law, because they're the gods. The ones on top of the pyramid, and then all we are is just the little pawns. And we have to play their games. We have to be manipulated by these fucking stupid fucks. Slavery. Slavery is actually every human being on this planet. Every fucking human beings. Black people were the fucking guinea pigs. Black people in America were the guinea pigs, and now all of a sudden they figure it out, and they figure out a different way of enslaving people. So now they enslave everybody. That's how it works. That's the way it works, because you got Masons fucking back in the 1800s. The British came back and fucking they fucked us. That's the way it works. And then they wanted you to make believe this is normal. Yeah, this is normal. This is what life is about. It's normal. Everybody should be a debt slave. Debt slavery. Why should you have debt? You think that's part of life? You think that's life, being in debt? You think creating debt is that's not, to me, that's not life. That's more like torturing a human being. It shows you how that fucking Enjoy Bro has no compassion. He doesn't know what compassion is, because all he cares about is he wants everybody else to be debt slaves. We got to be debt slaves to corporate greed. And then they're going to call me crazy. Yeah, Enjoy Bro is the best example for a real zombie. You talk about zombies. It's like, when I look at these fucking trolls, they're the true zombies of life. It's like Enjoy Enjoy, Bro, and all the fucking trolls are all fucking zombies, and all they care about is producing fear. Fear mongering is part of human life, which is really a sick part of human life. Human beings do not understand this world. This world is alive. This world is alive. This world is a living being. And I have idiots like Enjoy Bro and these stupid fucking trolls who do not understand that shit. It's like it's your mother. This world is like your mother. If the mother can't take care of you, then if you can't take care of your own mother, then you have a fucking problem. That's what makes me sick about humanity, because they don't want to enjoy it. All they care about is destroying their own mother. That's what they do. They destroy their own mother, and then anybody who is for nature, then they look at, and then in their religious point of view, they think they're witches and wizards and all that bullshit. If they're for nature, but in reality, they're the one who's destroying the world. It's like human beings became their own demons. We have real life demons. Human beings who work for corporation, who have corporate greed. Anybody who's for greed, for selfishness, for self-serving, they became their own demons, and they make it sound like it's positive. It's weird about that. They became the human. We have real life demons in physical human forms. That they think it's normal to fucking to destroy a planet. And they think that's normal. They think being a debt slave is normal. And they think it's funny that they think the way they think so backwards. Backwards minded fuckers that they think greed is good. Greed. We have to live. We have to obey the rich assholes on this world. We have no choice. It's funny. It's like they give us no choice on this world. Either you have two choices. Oh no, three choices. You either make money. That's one choice. Make money, or you go homeless, or die. That's it. Those are your three choices. What's the longest lifespan for a human being for not eating? I'm just curious. What's the longest lifespan for a human being not eating? How long can a human being not eat? So there's something wrong with this fucking culture that we live in. That we starve each other. It's like these bodies don't last forever. I mean, if we stop eating, what happened to us? That's one thing. It's one thing I don't. That's one thing that they kind of like got us hooked on. We had to feed these bodies, so we had to keep on consuming. That's why they call us consumers. I keep on saying that. You guys, why do they call us consumers? Because we consume. That's the whole objective. That's why we became debt slaves, so we can consume. And consuming means you destroy. That's why they call you consumers, because you destroy. You poison your own water. You poison your own food. You poison the air. That's why they call you Why they call us consumers? It's really stupid. It's so stupid and simple, And I listen to Enjoy Bro, the show fucking nothing much. Yeah, I guess you've been listening to me. I'm tired of zombies. Okay, I'm tired of hearing zombies make believing this is a normal world. I think debt slavery is not normal. Okay, that's what I think. I think debt slavery is not fucking normal. I think there's something wrong with people who believe in debt slavery. That's all I talk about. It's like, the word consume, it's like, it's pretty obvious that what humans are. They're nothing but a virus that consume, That's how I look at it. Human beings became a virus, and that's all they do is consume and create fear. Good for you. But you still don't own nothing, You still don't. I mean, you still don't. I mean, that's great that you're debt free, but you still don't own anything. If you say you own things, then you live in the illusion. You know. Yes, I'm just like any other human being on this fucking planet. That's why I make videos. I make videos on why we became debt slaves and how we became debt slaves. And I'm going to show you something about Jordan Maxwell if you like to hear that. You know, you want to hear that? Sakan Donk Mum Stash. Let's hear Jordan Maxwell. I couldn't get him on my videos. Hey, Infinite. Yeah. We're all debt slaves. No matter, even though we're not in debt, we're still debt slaves because we still got to pay our taxes. You know that we still have the old IRS. We got so many different taxes. You know, we got taxes for our car. We got taxes for. I mean, we're still debt slaves no matter what. We still owe money to the government, the corporation. Government is the corporation. So yeah, we don't own nothing. We don't own shit. And people believe that they own shit. They don't. Let's listen to Jordan Maxwell today. Today I said I was going to bring up Jordan Maxwell, so I'm gonna bring it up. Let's see. The occult leaders. Jordan Maxwell on the occult leaders. How about that one?
My name is Jordan Maxwell. For the past 43 years of my life, I have spent researching and studying the world of hidden knowledge, ancient mysteries, occult and secret societies, fraternal orders. My real first love is theology, occult theology. But let me warn you and let me say that the word occult does not mean evil or bad. It carries that reputation, but it's not really bad. Occult simply means hidden. Anything which is hidden is occult, the Latin word for hidden. Consequently, so much of knowledge, important spiritual, political, sociological knowledge, it's been hidden. And so I have spent, as I said, the past 43 years of my life searching out hidden knowledge. That's what I do. I'm fascinated by how much we don't know. The state of Israel is actually connected to America in a very arcane and secret way. So they are, the state of Israel is connected to the American federal system. That's very interesting. That's why America sends billions and billions and billions of dollars. Quite literally, I've heard the figure per year, something like $17 billion a year to the state of Israel. Incredible amounts of money. Why? There's something else going on here, and they haven't told you the whole story. If you were looking down from a satellite, looking down onto the Earth, or even higher out than a satellite would be, you would see that the largest single landmass on the Earth is from Russia, from the northeast tip of Russia, all the way across to central West Africa, to the West African coast. Then from England, England, all the way across to India. And you crisscross the largest single landmass on the earth. That cross comes right through the city of Jerusalem. That's where it crosses. And so the old ancient Phoenician Canaanites, being the bankers, they said, if you coming through town to do business, Jack, you're going to pay us up front. And so whoever controls Jerusalem controls the flow of oil, drugs, all kinds of products, the flow of gold, diamonds, all the valuable things in the world goes through Jerusalem. That's why it's the holy city. Money, international, monetary world situation set up so that all money, all flowing of business, commerce goes through Jerusalem. That's the name of the tomb. And that's why Jerusalem is so important to the American people. Now, you've got to give the people a reason why Israel is so important. Now, we know that Israel is very important because of strategically where it sits on the trade routes to control the flow of oil, drugs, diamonds, a lot of drugs in Israel, going through Israel. Major movements of illicit narcotics and drugs through Israel. And diamonds, gold, money, etc., etc. But you've got to give the people who are going to go over there and lose their lives and give their sons in war, you've got to give them a reason. So we tell them that it's religious. It's the Lord's chosen people, the Lord's people. And the Lord himself has chosen Israel. And we give them a line. You'd be surprised what Americans love. They love that kind of stuff. And so we tell them, it's the Lord's will. And the Lord Jesus was there, and all the great prophets and all of that. And so we have to protect that little country, Israel, because it's the Lord's will. So I believe that all of these things which are happening right now in the Middle East is there are many factors involved, obviously. It's not just oil. It's not just money. Those are the cards on the table. When you're laying out the game and you're going to play a game, a high-stakes game, say in Las Vegas, where hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars are laying on the table, and you're playing a high-stakes game, you're going to have the cards you've got that you're playing. Well, one of the cards that's being used in this high-stakes game is, of course, oil. One of them is, of course, drugs. Drugs are very big business in the Middle East and in Europe. And so I feel that the drugs are one card. Oil is a second card. The control of money, banking, fraternities, controlling the flow of commerce and business in the world. That's another card on the table. But above the cards are the players only using the cards. And I think the players in this world game that's being laid out for us now are guided not by the cards. They're guided by something else. There's something else going on here.
There's a symbol.
And it has to do with secret societies and ancient religions. People have been living from day to day, never realizing the profound impact secrets have on us. Secret government, secret projects, secret knowledge. And today we are beginning to see that the world is in serious trouble. I believe that the things which are going on in the world today, not the least of which the Middle Eastern war and Middle Eastern intrigue, I think the machinations that are going on behind the scenes of world government are being orchestrated. I have no doubt in my mind, after 43 years of looking at this subject, that so much of our world, the wars, the violence, the bloodshed, the animosity among races, is purposely designed by someone. Catholic Church is involved in Israel. They're involved in the Holocaust. When the Nazis saw that the war was going bad for them and they were going to lose the war. It was like 1944. All the top Nazis were given Vatican passports and given safe passage and money through the Vatican banks. Money was given to all the top Nazis to get them out. So the Vatican sent a bunch of Nazis to Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil, Argentina. We know they're down there. Well, it's all Catholic down there. That's right. That's why they're down there. The scientists and the theoreticians, they sent directly through the CIA, which is the Knights of Malta organization for the Catholic Church. Catholic Church is CIA. CIA is Catholic Church. The CIA broke into the Watergate Hotel. Watergate Hotel is owned by the Vatican. The owners of the Watergate Hotel today in Washington, D.C. is owned by the Catholic Church. It's the Vatican owner. The Vatican owns the Watergate. And the CIA was in there doing their dirty work in the Watergate Hotel. And then they got Nixon kicked out of office because Nixon realized that the Vatican is involved in all this crap and the English are involved in all this crap. So the Vatican set up their own people. Send the CIA into, well, we can't do it in just any place. That's all right. Send it to our hotel. We'll take care of it. Reinhard Gehlen was not only a Knights of Malta, but he was also one of the founders of today, the CIA. Reinhard Gehlen was the man in charge of security for Adolf Hitler. He was chief of security for the Nazi Empire, Reinhard Gehlen. And when he saw that things were going bad and they were going to lose, Reinhard Gehlen was chief of security. He's not an idiot. This guy knows the war is up. We've lost. So he goes to the Vatican, and the Vatican gets him a ticket over here to work for America, and he comes over here and sets up something called the CIA. All of these religious leaders in America on television, they have contracts under the table with international oil cartels, drug cartels, banking cartels, and they are reaping in millions of dollars in private profits in European banks that American Christians have no idea in the world about. But all you have to do is just start doing some homework and checking on all of the so-called Christian leaders who are all for the state of Israel. Find out how much money did you make last year. Then you begin finding out the oil companies put up millions of dollars for Christian churches to send out missions. So many of the Christian missionaries that go out around the world, and these you see them nightly on television, missionary movements that go out to the poor, starving people of Africa and the poor people of China. These missions are being financed, but a lot of the big churches are not telling the people that it's being financed by oil companies. Oil companies and drug cartels are financing many of the church's missions throughout the world. We now know, we have documented proof beyond a shadow of a doubt that World War I, World War II were planned long in advance. The things which are going on in the Middle East have been planned for, I believe, at least 40 years, minimum. I can show you at least 40 years ago that this government, American government, was already keenly anticipating a major war in the Middle East. A corporation called United States, after the change of the century, coming into 1900s, decided they wanted to expand. They got so much money and they're doing so well. They thought maybe we could expand the business, move the corporation out a little bit. Let's expand business. Let's go to Germany or Europe and open up a big corporation there and take in their corporation, their government. We'll take them over. And the Germans said, "Hey, Jack, it's like a mafia. What are you coming over here? You're gonna buy me? I'll buy you. You don't buy me." Like the Godfather movie. What, you're going to come into Las Vegas and you're going to give me, and you're going to buy my hotels? Who says I'm going to sell my hotels? And the American corporation British American corporation said, unfortunately, maybe you didn't understand. Let me restate it so you understand. I didn't ask you. I'm telling you. We're moving in here. It's called a corporate takeover. And so there was a hostile corporate takeover where the American corporation decided they want to take over in Europe and they didn't want to be taken over. Well, it's too bad. Take over anyway. So they called it a hostile corporate takeover. We call it World War I. So the corporation called United States was able to overthrow the existing corporate order in Europe, but it cost a lot of money. They had to build a lot of tanks and jeeps and pay a lot of people. And the corporation, well, they were successful. They did what they wanted to do, but they went broke doing it. And so when they went broke doing it, and then the bankers pulled their money out in 29, we had something called a stock market crash. Because the corporation spent so much money, they went broke. So the international banker says, well, if you're broke, what are you coming to me for? I'm not going to loan you money if you're broke. And so what do you have as collateral? You got any collateral that you can put up for me to loan you the money? And the corporation called United States, the British corporation called United States, said, yes, we have the stock. We'll give you stock in the company. You are the stock in the corporation. So they give your body to the banks in Switzerland. So your body now becomes stock for the corporation called United States because you are a money maker. Bankers came in and said, if we're going to loan you money, you guys have lost money. You guys have gone bankrupt. We're going to take care of the accounting. We're going to see where the money goes. We'll give you the money, but we're going to make it sure it goes where we want it to go. So they set up the Federal Reserve System and then the collection agency to make damn sure that you people pay us. We're going to set up to keep a record of how much you owe us in business each week. We're going to call that the Federal Reserve. And to make sure that your stock, all the chumps out there in America working, make sure the stock pays us. We're going to make sure they pay us. You don't just tell me you're going to pay. I'm going to make sure they're going to pay. So we will set up a collection agency. Our own personal collection agency is called the Internal Revenue. You mess with us, Jack, and we're going to hurt your face. You owe us money. So the banks loan money to the privately owned corporation called United States, and the United States corporation gave your body, your birth certificate, to the banks as collateral for the loan. And that's why today Americans are nothing but slaves. Now, this is something I want you to understand. And you need to listen carefully because this is profoundly important. Most people have never heard this and don't even understand what I'm trying to say. But try and follow what I'm going to tell you. There are two kinds of law on the earth, as I've said. One is called civil law, which is the law of the land. And one is called maritime admiralty, which is called the law of water. The maritime admiralty is banking law. And the law on the maritime admiralty says that you, because you came out of your mother's water, are a maritime admiralty product. This is why the ship is sitting in its berth and it's tied to the dock, and the captain has to give a certificate of manifest to the port authorities because money is changing hands. This is why when you were born, you have to have a birth certificate. It's got to be signed by the dock because that's where the ship is tied to, is the dock. So the dock is your birth certificate. Why? Because you came down out of your mother's water. You came down her birth canal. You are a maritime admiralty product. And therefore, your birth certificate is signed by your mother. And where your mother signed on the birth certificate, get it, you will see It does not say parent or mother. It says informant. Your mother was informing the bank that she has just produced another product to be bought and sold. England, the British Crown, through international banking, owns your physical body. And that's the law. So you can think it's funny all you want. So the bottom line is that you are a maritime admiralty product. And therefore, the banks own your body. And on the back of the Social Security card will be numbers in red. On the front will be in blue or black, but on the back will be in red. The numbers on the back of a Social Security card in red designate your body. It is the serial number of your stock. And this is why if you're wealthy, you are preferred stock. If you're poor, you are common stock. But you are a stock on the stock market. Your body is bought and sold through the use of your birth certificate. And if you could get your original birth certificate back, you would find that on the back of the birth certificate are all the banks around the world. All over the world, banks have used your birth certificate because you are a stock in a maritime admiralty banking scheme where you make money for banks. So consequently, the corporation and government and people who want to control you, they create a second you, and that second you that they control, that they created, is all capital letters. Check it out. Anytime you get a bill, get a lawsuit, you get a fine, a ticket, somebody sends you a bill from the Department of Water and Power, check it out on your driver's license, on your Social Security card, on your insurance cards, anything, period. Anything having to do with business, your name will always be in all capital letters, because only all capital letters can be dealt with by banks and government. Anytime you have a name upper or lowercase, that applies to you. I got no control of you. You sign a contract in which your name is in all capital letters, now I can take you to court. Now I can take you. As a matter of fact, the judge sits on the bench. He rules from the bench. The word bench in Latin is a bank. Look it up in a Latin dictionary. So the judge rules from the bench. Right, because he's ruling for the bank. Why? Because somebody's going to pay. It's just a game here. The Queen of England wants a cut of the American blood. She wants a piece. So it's going, somebody's going to pay, and the money's going to go where? Into a bank. That's right. The judge rules for the bank. So consequently, if you are working in California making money, you are then referred to as a franchisee. You're a franchisee of a foreign corporation. 1849 Constitution of California. 1849 Constitution of California says, no California citizen will ever pay taxes in California state, ever. There will never be a state tax in California, ever. That's the Constitution of California. But if you say that you're a United States citizen, you're saying you work for a privately owned corporation called United States. Therefore, you are a franchisee of a foreign corporation. Therefore, you must pay the California Franchise Tax Board, not California State Tax Board. There is no state tax in California. You pay the California Franchise Tax Board because you're a franchisee of a foreign corporation on the maritime banking law, international law. You work for the Queen of England. Your butt is owned by the Queen of England in a corporation called United States, while a man called Bush is the president of the British corporation. You want to talk treason? You need to wake up and find out how this stuff really works. Because once you understand that you don't need to submit yourself as an American to a British commercial venture call courts. You're an American. You don't need to go to court. As somebody, you only go to court because you agreed to go to court. When they send you a subpoena to court or summons to court, they've sent you something, you look at it and say, hey, Jack, that's not me. That's in all capital letters. All capital letters in a corporation. It's a corpse. It's dead. Do I look like I'm dead to you? No, I'm an American, Jack. I ain't dead. And besides, I'll go to an American system for justice. I don't need no British Grand Lodge Masonic system called courts. This British Grand Lodge Freemasonic system called Inns of Court comes out of England. And it has manipulated, exploited, and lied to the people. And everybody in America thinks they got to go to court. Oh, the judge is, they've sent me something that I've got to go to court. I don't go to anybody's court. I'm an American. I don't need to go to court. That's the difference between being a free man and a slave. Very few Americans have ever really thought about the fact who was the enemy of this country when it was being founded. Who was it George Washington was at war with? Bloodshed on the field of battle. Who were the Americans fighting and dying on the field of battle, fighting to found this country? Russians. No, as a matter of fact, the Russians were our supporters. The French, no. The French was supporting us. They loved us. They thought it was a great idea, somebody actually standing up for their rights and becoming a free people. And the French say, hey, that's sensational. Matter of fact, we'll come over and help you if you want. Anybody that fights against that bunch of cutthroat murderers, British royalty will help. Even the Tsar of Russia said, hey, you guys going to revolt against England? Hey, about time, somebody will come help you. And so Russia helped the Americans. French helped Americans. All over the world, people say, hey, it's about time you guys got out for it. I love it. See somebody stand up for their own rights and take their country and become a free people. Your enemy when you founded this country was England, British royalty. And the Americans stood up in the field of battle and whipped the King of England's ass and sent the British back with their asses bleeding. All over the world, wealthy people, potentates, kings, rulers, princes, all the powerful people in the world, all over the earth, were watching. And they say, hey, we heard the King of England got his ass kicked last week by a little group of people called Americans. They chased your ass out of town, didn't they? And consequently, the King of England became the laughing stock of the world. Everybody, hey, boy, he's got all the big army and the red coats and their guns and everything. That little bunch of Americans, they kicked your ass and sent you back crawling on your knees. What you going to do about that? You going to let him get away with that? And so the king realized he could not. They beat you on the field of battle, and they're mad. You come back, they're going to kill you again. And so the King of England and the British royalty decided, no, we're not going to send any more people over there because you're not going to win. Those people are crazy. They got guns, and they're mad. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Later on, we'll dream up some things called United States government, and we'll incorporate it. And we will bring in what we call, call them attorneys and lawyers. And then we'll do business and sign contracts. And we'll be their friends. And one day, we're going to own them. The British invasion. They call the rock groups that came out of England the British invasion. That's not the only thing Britain invaded with. They invaded with treason, bloodshed, lies, deception. They've given us courts. They made you into a corporation. They made you so that you are politically dead. You walk into a courtroom and the judge wears a black robe. Black is the color of death. I mean, you've got Dracula wears a black robe. Frankenstein wears black. You know, always the jailer and the guy who's going to cut your head off wear the black robes. What is this black robe stuff of judges? Where does this black robe stuff come from? Somebody needs to do their homework and find out America has been raped. And the people who are running this country are nothing more than turncoats. They're traitors who have sold our great republic out. They've sold us out to our masters in England. I, for one, would like to see all British in this country, all British money, all British financing, all British corporations chased out of this country. Give them 72 hours to be out of this country, and you tell the Queen we're not sending over American boys into the Middle East to save your goddamn oil. Tell the Queen no longer will Americans crawl on their knees to that woman, to the Queen of England. What a travesty. What a travesty in this country to watch America, the great republic, being raped by the British royalty. Somebody needs to do their homework. It's all business. I don't want you to take this personally. It's just business. This is the way banks work. This is the way courts work. This is the way government works. They manipulate and use words and terms and frighten you. I, for one, am not only not frightened, I'm tired of the lies and deception. I'd like to see America free again. That's my feeling. And thank you and good night.
How's that? That was pretty interesting, huh? You like that? How much a lie I mean, there's lies within lies within lies within lies within lies, you know? Yeah. I mean, this world, for me, is kind of weird because I look back millions of years. For me, it's like millions of years. It's like, but now it's like I look at this. I mean, Earth or Gaia was never a Republican or a Democrat, you know, because the ancients didn't believe in the Republican and Democrat. You know, it's like, and then it's like it's weird how a world. You know, America is funny. America is so funny about how it's controlled. You know, it's like the natives were here, and they were. I mean, I like the native way, so I go further back than the Republicans. I don't believe in the Republicans I don't believe in Republicans or in Democrats. You know, I rather believe the natives because the way they work, they function as one group. You know, one big huge family. Because I can imagine the evolution for the natives. You know, if they became modernized, and they would be more. I think they would be more in harmony compared to the Republicans and the Democrats. Because I kind of like because they're all about Republicans and Democrats. They're all about greed. I mean that's what they're all about greed, and they're not balanced in what they believe in. So I kind of like veered off. I kind of like, yeah, it's great. It used to be a Republican state, but if you go further back, it never was a Republican state. You know, because the invaders, because they ignored they ignored the natives. They completely ignored the natives, like typical British people that came here, the typical Spaniards that came here. They completely ignored the natives, and they kind of like completely erased millions of years. So that's why I say it was never a Republican state or a Democrat. Because both sides. I mean, yeah, we're under British rule. I mean, the Queen of England actually controls this. For me, I'd rather go towards the native way versus the Republicans and Democrat. because it's just they're so greedy in their own ways that they're so greedy. They're lying. They lied to get this country. They had to lie. They had to cheat and steal to get this country before this country was born. So I say I look at it this way: it's never a Republican state. It's just white people like to manipulate their own kind. Don't you notice that? White people like to manipulate their own kind. That's one thing that's so weird about it. It's like even though they rebel against the British, and then and they fought against the British, and they they call it freedom, but it's like I wouldn't call Republican and Democrat freedom, because all they care about is profiting and stealing other people's culture. If you notice that. That's one thing. I mean, I like Jordan Maxwell. I love Jordan Maxwell. I love how he breaks down the reality that we live in, But he doesn't go. He goes all the way back to the Sumerian and ancient time. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was under a different. It was never Democrat or Republican under the ancient times. But it's like you go further back. I go further back in the beginnings of time, the beginnings when this planet was first formed. The reptilians were the first before there was human. Yeah, the reptilians were the first. Yeah, that's all we are, just pawns in a chess game. The reptilians were I'm sorry to say, but the reptilians, they were here from the beginning. But that's one thing about human beings. They don't forget. They don't want to know about the reptilians because they're the reptilians been watching us. They watch us. They watched our history. They watch us grow. And it was never a Republican and Democrat on this reptilian planet. It's always been a reptilian planet because the planet was more. It was all tropical. I mean, this planet was never been tampered with for billions of years. This planet never until humanity came, and then humanity came, and then all of a sudden we're manipulated to destroy. So yeah, I look at the Draconians. I look at the Draconians. They were the first to be here. The Drox. They were the first life to be here. So yeah, I can't look. So the way in my perspective, humanity have became an invaders to the Draconians, but somehow they can easily. I don't know why. Sometimes I always think about is they can easily defeat us, but they just look like they depend. It's like they're using us, So I took my mind a little bit further than Republican and Democrat. So I look at sometimes I look at a reptilian's perspective, and I've seen the reptilian culture. I've seen the rituals they do because most of the rituals that humans do are based on reptilian rituals. They do sacrifice their young, and they do eat the blood and eat. Reptilians. There are vegetarian reptilians out there. I know there's vegetarians, but I know there are meat eaters. There are human, meat eaters, and the reptilians are like an ant colony, Yeah. Yeah, the United States is kind of weird. It's like we work hard, Infinite. We work fucking hard a lot. We take a lot of abuse in the United States compared to all the other countries. If you notice that, we could take a lot of abuse. We can build shit. We can do a lot of shit in the United States. I mean, we take hardcore abuse We work 3 times as hard compared to all the other countries. Our standard of living is bull crap, Yeah, there is no culture here. United States has no culture because they erased it. United States didn't. Yeah, I agree with you. There's no culture because they don't want you to have culture in the United States. They want you to speak English only. Even though we have cultures, but they still don't want it. They Americans are offended if they have a different language in their city. It's like Miami. I found out Miami, where white people were so offended because everybody speaks Spanish, and they want everything to speak. They don't want any Spanish language down in Miami because I remember I saw the news for that about how the Cuban society had nothing but Spanish words, and the white people were so offended because they don't want them to speak any Spanish. They said, "You're in America now. You got to speak You got to speak American. Everything's got to be in English." So it tells you how racist America is, and then turn around, they tell you they're not racist. They tell you, and then turn around, they say they're not racist, but they don't want them to speak Spanish down south, in Miami or Mexico, because it's funny about what you call it? Oh my God, Laredo, Texas, Mexican. Very Mexican down in Laredo. It's part of the border. But it's really Americans are double standard. If you they like to lie and they tell you they're not racist, but they're actually racist because they don't want you to speak another language. Yeah, which is weird. They say we're not racist, but you can't. It's like I saw this one white guy went to this guy. There was a Mexican. This guy had a Mexican flag on top of the American flag. This white guy, this white country redneck asshole, went there, got pissed off. He took the Mexican flag down, and he was taking his knife and he was chopping up the Mexican flag. That shows you how racist they really are. But they say they're not racist, but they are racist, even though they don't like the Mexican flag. So I look at it this way, flags. If you have a flag, you're a racist. That's all I'm gonna say, because flags stands for separation. You know, divide and conquer. That's what flags are for. They're designed to divide and conquer human beings, and even our own languages were divide and conquer. On one planet, and everybody's country. If you look at it, everyone's country is offensive. To especially America. America is the most offensive. It gets offensive for any kind of flag. It's like when they talk about North Korea, it shows you how they can fuck with your mind on talking about North Korea. It's how bad it is. It's a communist state, and it is flags. Flags are definitely divide and conquer on this fucking one planet. It's funny how the ETs, extraterrestrials, they divide us and by our race, by our language. And then and it's funny, these Bible thumpers, and they read the Bible and they notice that we're all, and they notice it's like we all used to be one, and then all of a sudden we got separated, and then everything went to hell, and it's like now they became racists. We all became racist against because we believe in flags. Because we have to be united. It's funny about United States. We're not united. We're like individual states. Our states each state has a different law. They all, and I've seen the different laws in each state has. It shows you how stupid we really are. So we're still divided. States are divided. We're divided because they all have different laws and they function differently according to law. It really shows you how ignorant we are. We're not really united. We all have separate states. So we all have separate laws, and the taxes are all different. All the taxes in each state are all different. Oh my God! Believe, believe. Come on. It's like it's weird. It's funny about Jordan Maxwell. Jordan Maxwell breaks down the Bible down to the T, and he realized that this thing, this is basically it's weird, because now I'm seeing more. Get on your knees, yeah. People who believes in Bible are crazy. They're like psychopaths, because they rather go out and it's funny, they throw their book. I have a Bible. I have the Bible. Yeah, I have the Bible. I've been yellowing stuff in the Bible. I found out, it talks about slavery and all that stuff. Talk about genocide. I found a lot of bad things in the Bible. I was reading about how they destroyed a whole town full of human beings. It's like two beings went and destroyed a town. They destroyed every one of them because they were all, I don't know, two human beings destroy a town. So that means that it must have been a spaceship. They must have they took their ship and they destroyed the whole fucking complete genocide. And then they talk about enslaving people. In the Bible, they talk about enslave. And it's weird, and people believe that's part, and they don't want to read that part, the part of the Bible where they the bad parts of the Bible. It's fun to look up. 10 worst Bible passage. Here we go. St. Paul advice about whether women are allowed to teach men in church. I do not permit women to teach or to have authority over men. She must be silent. Timothy 2:12. In this verse, Samuel, one of the early leaders of Israel, ordered genocide against neighboring people. This is the Lord Almighty says, now go and strike Amalek and devote destruction of all they have. Do not spare them, but kill both men and women, children and infant, oxen, sheep, camels, and donkeys. Samuel 15:3. A command of Moses, do not allow sorcerers to live. Isn't that kind of fucked up? the ending of Psalm 137, Palms, which was made into disco calypso hit Boney M, and often omit reading the church. Happy is he who repay you for what they have done to us. He who sees your infant and dashes them against the rock. Yeah, killing babies is in the Bible. Number 5. There's a number. There's 10. I'm gonna read 10 of them. You know, another blood-curdling tale of the Book of Judges, where the Israelite man is trapped in the house by the hostile crowd and sends out the concubine to placate them. So the men took his concubine and sent her outside to them, and they raped her, abused her throughout the night. And at the dawn, they let her go. At daybreak, the women went back to the house where her master, when her master was staying, fell down at the door, lay there until daylight. When her master got up in the morning and opened the door of the house and stepped out to continue on his way, they lay his concubine falling in the doorway of the house, and her hands on the threshold. He said to her, "Get up, let's go." But there's no answer. And then the man put her on his donkey and set out for home. Judges 19:25 through 28. Number 6, St. Paul condemns homosexuality in the opening chapter of book Romans. In the same way, also men gave up natural intercourse with women for a consumed passion for another man. A man committed shameless act with men and received in their own persons the due penalty for their errors. Romans 1:27. Number 7, the story book of Judges. An Israelite leader, Jephthah, I don't know how to say his name, makes a rash vow to God, which has to be carried. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord and said, "If you give amenities into my hands, then whoever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return victorious from Ammonites shall be the Lord, be offered up me to burnt offering." Oh, burnt offering. Then Jephthah came to his home in Mizpah, and there was his daughter coming out to meet him, and timbrels with his timbrels and with dancing. She was his only child. He had no son or daughters except her. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and said, "Alas, alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low. You become the cause of great trouble to me, for I have opened my mouth to the Lord, and I cannot take back my vows." Judges 11:30. They degrade women. They kill babies. They degrade women. Women were slaves. According to the Bible, women were slaves to men. If a man didn't have a son, so they killed their daughters. Lord is speaking to Abraham in the story where God commands him to sacrifice his son. "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on the mountain that I shall show you." Genesis 22-2. So he burnt his own son for an offering for God. Number 9, wives, submit your husband as the Lord. Oh, the wise have to submit themselves, you know? Number 10, slaves. Submit yourself to your master with all respect, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the cruel. Peter 2:18. Slavery. I mean, you got slavery right now. The same thing. We are submitting ourselves, you know? We have to submit yourself to your masters. Corporation, you submit yourself to your masters with all respect, you know? Yeah, you submit yourself to your master with all respect. Not only to the good and gentle, also to the cruel. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So it's like for the gentle and the cruel. Also, it doesn't matter. You're a slave. It's like I don't know why Bible thumpers don't read this shit. You know, the bad part. They don't want to tell you the bad part. It was really fucked up, you know? Let's see, some reason why humanists reject Bibles. "20 Bible verses about bad company, wise scriptures, studies tool." Why do we ignore this part of the Bible? Yeah, I used to find this one site that had all the bad verses on the Bible. If I can find it. Watch a video for free. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. 11 kinds of Bible verses Christians love to ignore. Here we go, another 11. I wonder if this is the same one. Weird insults and curses. She lusted after her lover, whose Gentiles were like those of a donkey, and whose emission was like that of a horse. Ezekiel 23:20. You will be pledged to be married to a woman, but another will take her. What? You will be pledged to be married to a woman, but another will take her and rape her. You will build a house, but you will not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will not even begin to enjoy its fruits. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will eat none of it. Your donkey will be forcibly taken from you, and will not be returned. And no one will rescue them. The Lord will afflict your knees and legs and painful boils that cannot be cured, spreading from soles of your feet to the top of your head. Deuteronomy 28:30-31. That was weird. Do not wear clothing woven of two kinds of material. Leviticus 19:19. You shall not round corners of your head. You shall not round the corners of your head. Leviticus 19:27. All have not fins and scales in the sea. Oh, wait a minute. All that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers and of all the moves in the water and any living thing which is in the water, they shall be abomination to you, unto you. Leviticus 9:10. Thou shalt not boil a kid into the mother's milk. Thou shalt not boil a kid into the mother's milk. Exodus 23:19. When a woman has a discharge, if her discharge in her body is blood, she shall continue into her menstrual impurities for 7 days. And whoever touches her shall be unclean until evening. Everything also on which she lies during her menstrual purity shall be unclean, and everything on which she sits shall be unclean. 1930. Leviticus 19:30. When men fight with another, and the wife of one draws near to the rescue her husband from the husband from the hands of him who is beating him, and put out her hands and seize him by private parts, when he shall cut off her hands. Holy shit. Deuteronomy 25:11-12. Early morning, as Jesus was on his way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it and found nothing. What the fuck? Okay. Found nothing except leaves. Then he said to it, may you never bear fruit again. Immediately the tree tethered. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I don't get this, you know? This is primitive people talking now. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known men intimately. But all the girls who have not known men intimately, spare for yourself. Number 31:17-18. He executed the priests of the pagan shrine on their own altars, as he burned human bones on the altar to desecrate them. He did this obedience to all the laws written in the scroll of Heklah, the priest that had found the Lord's temple. Never before had there been kings like Josiah, who turned to the Lord with all his heart and soul and strength, obeying all the laws of Moses. And Moses was a moon worshiper. It's funny, they had moon worshiping too. And there has never been a king like since King 23:20. Instruction for the slave masters. In reality, the Bible says much more support of slavery against it, even though the New Testament Jesus never says owning people is wrong. Instead, the Bible gives explicit instruction to masters and slave awkwards. You may purchase a male or female slave from among the foreigners who lives amongst you. You may also purchase the children of such residents, foreigners, including those who has been born in your land. You may treat them as your property, passing them on to your children as permanent inheritance. You may treat, it sounds like America. You may treat your slaves like this, but the people of Israel, your relatives, must never be treated this way. Leviticus 25:44. Slaves, obey your earthly masters. That's what we do. That's corporations. Don't that sound familiar? Slaves, obey your earthly masters with deep respect and fear. There you go. Serve them sincerely as you would serve Christ. Ephesians 6:5. What don't that sound familiar? Don't that sounds like we live like that right now? We're living like that right now. It says, slave, obey your earthly masters. So yeah, to make a paycheck, we have to obey our masters to make our paycheck. You know, and then obey your earthly masters with deep respect and fear. There you go. Because if you don't make a paycheck, you'll have deep. You have to respect your master, but they put fear on you because you need that paycheck. Bizarre death penalties. Here we go. Years ago, I wrote an article titled, "If the Bible were law, would you qualify for a death penalty?" It identified 35 different offenses that earn a person capital punishment in the Bible. Hint, you probably qualify. And so does the dog who belonged to your kinky neighbor, If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken into him, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out into the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place, and they shall say what the hell? Okay. They shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is glutton and drunkard. And all men of his city shall stone him. Everybody's supposed to stone you. If you have a disobedient son or daughter, you have to stone him. You have to go publicly stone your son. Yeah, I know. Deuteronomy 21:18-21. If a man has sex with an animal, he must be put to death, and the animal must be killed. Leviticus 20:15. Degeneration of handicapped people. The yuck factor probably wired humanity's level instinct as a way to avoid contamination of pathogens. Shit smells bad to us and does decay flesh. Our revelation of illness and injury fuels the whole Hollywood horror industry. The Bible writers had same instinct that unlike modern health professionals who had benefit germs theories, No one whose testicles are crushed or whose penis is cut off shall admit to assembly of the Lord. Deuteronomy 23:7. Whoever hath abolished, this, I don't know, it gets sick. It goes on forever. And it's like the Bible's not really a great book. It's just nothing but punishment. That's all it is. Punishment. I think the Book of the Dead. I always compare the Bible to the Book of the Dead, because that's basically what it is. Because that's why this world's so negative. Yeah, but human beings. But it's funny about that, Marcel, because we are responsible for human beings' action. Because we are all responsible for our actions on this fucking planet. You can't be individual. It's like you can't. I don't know. For me, I always say I am responsible. Everything we do, we are responsible for this. Yeah, you want to do a more, if you want to do a live chat, Infinite, we can do a live chat right now if you want. This would be a good subject, you know? Need to talk about this subject because people who Sterling Bruno. Did you live chat with Mike Sterling? You got an email? Yeah, I thought you were talking. Yeah, I thought Mike. When are you gonna live chat Mike? Yeah, Marcia. Yeah, because yeah, Marcia. Dogma. It's funny. This planet is based on dogma. You know, and people will always believe in dogma. So they need to be reprogrammed because of their dogma. And the Bible is like a programming, and it's funny you can't break a programming. The people who believe in dogma, you know, because the people who believe who has dogma are the most are the ones who are going to hurt the most. You know, if you think about it, the people who believe in dogma are the ones who are going to hurt the most. Yeah, mine is Camaro02girl@yahoo.com. Like small Camaro, like the car Camaro 02. Ugh. Well, I have to come out, get off live. I have to go on Google's chat. Let me check. Give me your email address. Uh, how do I do? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, give me your email address. Okay. Let me just figure out how to turn this Google's Hangout. Google's Hangout. Let's see how I do this. Oh, here we go. So let's start. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Accept. Somebody sent me an unknown person sent me a message. Unknown sent a message. Somebody unknown sent me a message. Let's hang out. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Invite. Huh. Hangout invite. I have an unknown somebody. Yeah, I see somebody sent a message to me on my Google's Hangout. Try again. I don't get that shit. That don't make no sense. Hangout chat. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Ah, crap. Okay. Fuck. Connect the dots. Everything connects the dots, Marcia. Everything. Jordan Maxwell is more. He breaks down the Bible. You know, Jordan Maxwell breaks down the Bible. It's not really a fucking. It's more of extraterrestrials that's in the Bible. You know, it's not really a God. It's not dogma. It's somehow I've been leading up to him a lot lately. So I've been leading up to Jordan Maxwell because he kind of like he's part of the puzzle. Jordan Maxwell is part of the puzzle on on this reality, and the dogma came from ETs. You know, the ETs are the ones who telling us do this, do that. You know, telling us how to be this and how to be that. It's like they control us, the ones that are the gods. You know, extraterrestrials are the gods. That's the reality of it. That's one thing. One thing you have to realize that extraterrestrial are the gods of these human bodies. You know, it was never. It's like we've been controlled for a long time. You know. You're talking about the Greys. The Greys are nothing but robots. So you're talking about the wrong person, Sterling Bruno. You're talking about you're talking about. I didn't even think about your daughter, Marcia Smith. I didn't even come to thought. Right now, I'm busy with other thoughts in my head. You know, You're talking to the wrong alien, Sterling Bruno. It's not even they're not even the Greys are like organic robots, 3 foot tall organic robots. You know, they're the ones who've been taking us, abducting us. But really, there's somebody controlling those organic robots. That's one thing you got to understand. Because the original beings were 13, 8 to 13 foot 13 foot tall. They were big. Then they created giants. I mean, originally humanoids were giants. The ones from the moon were actually 70 foot, 70 to 80 foot tall giants, maybe taller than that. So yeah, you're thinking, I don't know where do you come up with these bullshit? To be honest, they're not bugs. What kind of I don't understand where you're coming up with all this stuff, Sterling Bruno. I don't get where you're coming up because it doesn't make any sense. You don't make any sense at all. I'm just saying you don't make any sense because somehow you're being fucked in the head. Your mind's being fucked with. Why do you want to? I mean, it's usually the other way around because these beings can crush us. That's one thing you got to understand. The being, it's like you have no power. I mean, Sterling Bruno, you have no power, you have no abilities, and if you think about it, it's like we are easily crushed, easily, according to them. They're the one who's telling us. They're the one who's controlling us. Remote viewing is not going to kill nobody. Telepathy is not going to kill anybody. You can't crush them with telepathy. It's just I don't know. I don't think so. If you're a giant, because the original, if you think about it, the original humanoids, human-like beings they were originally on the moon. I mean, there was a planet here that was like 10 times the size of Earth. There was a planet here that was 10 times the size of our planet. And the people that are 70 foot tall, to them, that was normal. If you're 70 foot tall, 70 to 800 foot tall, to them, that's normal. Because they walk like normal. I mean, it's like how we are being so small that we are, because we're shrunk. They went from this big, huge. So that planet got destroyed, and then there was a big, huge fight. Again, I don't know who they were fighting against. That's another thing I'm curious about. Who were they fighting against? Because the way I hear it is that they were like thieves. They call them thieves, or they were like enemies. So the bad guys came here. And then all of a sudden they went to Mars and they shrank a little bit down to 20, half the size what they are. And then they were having so much different wars there. And then all of a sudden Mars had the big huge nuclear war, and then everybody from all the humanoids left that planet, and then they come down here. And the giants were living on the moon. It's like shit. I don't give a fuck about their names. All I know is that we all became monsters, We all became monsters. We all became destroyers. And then somehow their genetics came into us, and we became the destroyers, The bad guys kind of like fucking took over us, manipulated us. Yeah, we're just slaves. We shrunk down and became slaves at the end. And I still I still want to know. I still want to know more about the story. You know, about how the ancients. You know, because this is like trillions of years old. This could be trillions of years. You know, it could be like 1 trillion years ago. Before man never existed. You know, man has never existed. There's always somewhere different. The man, it's weird. It's never a man. It's human. Human beings never existed. I hate using the word man because it was never man at all. You know, it's always humanoids because everybody likes being a humanoid. I think humanoids are more diverse. I mean, has a little bit more diversity compared to other kind of body. I don't know. I look at bodies. You know, human. Yeah, or what do they call Homo sapiens? That's what they call you, Homo sapiens. Man just put man in there. You're really a Homo sapien, homosexual, Homo sapiens. That's the original name that you are. That's what you are, a Homo sapien. You're not really a man. You're just a Homo sapien. You're just a masculine Homo sapien. Now you're coming out with more bullshit. Where did that come from? You know? Fu man. Did you take DMT? Sterling Bruno, did you take some DMT right now? What did you see through DMT? Sovereign. There's no such thing as sovereign. We were never sovereign in this world. We were never free. You think we were free? We were free. We've been slaves for millions of years, maybe longer than that. We've been slaves. You know? Yeah. I don't know. Sterling Bruno's like, the world is so fucked up. Yeah, I am a joke. That's how they see me, as a joke. Because I don't know. I like to make sense of everything. You know, I don't like to make. You know, that's the way I work. When you talk, it's like it doesn't compute in my head. You know, I'm just saying, Sterling Bruno. It's like when you see certain things, it doesn't compute in my head at all. It's like it doesn't make any sense. You know. Yeah, it's like there is I'm saying that I have higher density. I agree with you on that one. We have higher densities, and I see my yellow friend again, my avian friend, my yellow avian friend. He's up a higher density than we are. He's happy. He's always happy when I see him. It's like I wish I was up there with him, being happy, always playing. You know, it's funny they play. Playing. It's like we're in a reality that we play. You know, we're like playing a game. Basically, life is like a video. That's why I say life is like a video game. You know, and the objective is see how positive we can get. The more positive, I think we're on this planet trying to find our way to be positive. And then also, every time we think about being positive, somebody always puts you down. You know, I realize that now. And then in the working world, you're not really that positive. You know, that's the reason why. That's why I've been trying to find ways to get out of this world, this third density world that we live in. You know, I want out of this third density world. I want to go up in like the fourth or fifth density at least, away from this fucking this world. This world always pull you down. Don't you notice that, Sterling Bruno? They always pull you down. And then if you come up with some certain subject, you know, that's so way out of there, then they call you fucking Looney Tunes, you know? And they always make you, they always push you down. They don't want you to go up a higher density. It's like they don't want a human being to go up the higher density, you know? Yeah, the vibrations. It's weird. You know, it's funny about feeling vibrations. It's kind of like I could feel it. I could feel the vibrations of somebody else. You know, I can feel the negativity of somebody. Sometimes when somebody is so negative, it's like I don't. It's like I can't. It's like you can feel. You know, when I felt when I felt all the trolls that were trolling me, they were hardcore negative. They were hardcore negative. They were fucking. I felt it. I almost want to puke. They almost made me want to puke because they're so damn negative. And then I realized that the more they keep me mad, the more I go down to their level. You know, and that's the whole objective of this world is to keep you mad, to keep you angry. And I didn't catch myself for a long time. I never caught myself, you know, because my anger kind of like blinded me, and it's like they were feeding off of me, and they don't realize, you know, these trolls do not realize that they're feeding off of negative energy, you know. So that's why I call it, you know, that's why we are like a vampire. Yeah, it's weird, you know. It's strange. It's interesting just to hear, you know, just the understanding the energy that we emit. You know, human beings don't realize that they emit energy, you know. Yeah. I really I noticed the trolls were more religious in religion, you know. Yeah. I don't know. For me. I kind of like I study people's words. You know, I use words, and if there's certain words on this world that that suppresses us, you know. So I listen to words. You know, I don't understand the words that they use, but I understand that the words, you know, the words that controls us. It's like how you use your words and how you say, how you put your words are like, it's like you put your intent into your words. So yeah, trolls don't realize that, you know, they're using magic when they put their intent into their words. That's one thing they don't understand. It's like the understanding of intent. Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like it's a strange thing about how we use intent, how we intentionally intense. Intention is like you're throwing some like throwing a ball at somebody, and all of a sudden you didn't tell somebody to catch the ball. The ball just went there and hit you. You know, that's my version of what intent is. You know, that's how I use it. And then a lot of things on my fucking mind. I don't know. Most of the time, I just stare at the wall every day. You know, it's funny. I stare at the wall every fucking day, and all of a sudden, when I sleep and I wake up, and all of a sudden, I want to think of something. All of a sudden, I want to talk about something, and it just comes. You know, it's like it's like it's like I'm being shown how to break down this world. You know, how to break down everything about this world. That's all it tells me. Is it tells me how to break it down, how it works. I like to learn. I like to learn. I like to know how the world works. You know, I have a curiosity of knowing how the world works and how these fuckers can, my everyday fucking life. It's like I question life. You know, I have to question life. You know, if you don't question life, then you don't know life at all. If you don't question it, then you don't know anything about this world. See, I like to know everything about this world, how people use their words, what they believe in. And then I realized, extraterrestrials, extraterrestrials, like the bad ones, the psychopath ones, there's certain extraterrestrial out there that don't like us, and they like to control us, and they like to eat us, It's like it's like I bring up reptilians because they think they don't believe there's lizard people. A typical normal human beings do not believe in lizard people, even though they're amongst them and they live amongst them, and they're right in front of your face sometimes. And sometimes I don't have sometimes I'm not even aware that they're around. I'm not even aware. And even though I've seen them in my sleep, I've seen them in my dreams. You know, the ones who I just something that is funny about reptilians. They like to leave things in your mind. They want to leave. They love to leave things in your mind. They left. They left a mark in my mind. The reptilians did, and they showed me the rituals. And they showed me a human ritual that left a mark in my mind. It's like I know every. It's like I know every detail about that ritual that the reptilians did. I can hear the laugh in my head. I can hear that laugh of that reptilian when he had the head of the human being, John Cusack. I thought John Cusack happened to just pop in my fucking head. Yeah, it's like I seen it. I seen what they did, but it wasn't a big deal for me. It was one thing that was weird about it. It wasn't a big deal because I think I think I've been through that myself. Because I realized when you tear a human being apart, the spirit goes back into the light and it gets a new body. The spirit always gets a new body. So they could tear apart the human. I realized they could tear apart the human body. We could feel the pain and all that stuff, but eventually you go back and then you get another body. So it's like then I kind of like then I questioned the pain. The pain that we go. It's like the pain of living. I call it the pain of living. You know, I guess we have to live by pain, and then and death. And then I questioned death. I had to question death a lot because when the reptilians tore the body up, right, and and then somehow it sucked the energy from the body. So I realized that I can put you on live if you want. Let me try. Let me go try. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's weird. Oh, come on. How is it? I'm not doing that. that's weird. Let me try. Let me try something. Yahoo. Let me see. Where is it called? Settings. Okay. Not enable, monetize. Oh, it's not enable. Okay. Let's see. Ugh. Trying to figure out how to do this shit, you know? Okay, where is it? Creator Studio. Studio account, creator. Settings. Oh my god, okay. I think I'm doing something wrong. Two people. I have like 20 million people inside me. I got a lot of people inside me. A mixture of all my different personalities of my own self. I have more than one personality. Google's Hangout. Oh, come on. There's an application for Google's Hangout. I don't remember how to do that. That's weird. I'm trying to go on Google's Hangout. Hangout chat. See, does that work? Conference. They have a conference. Google's Hangout has a conference. Number of employees. I don't want employees. Fuck that shit. This is stupid, you know? Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can go live. See if we can have all three of us. I can't get on Google's Hangout somehow. Google's Hangout. I was on it. I don't know why I'm not on it. Let me try this. That's fucking YouTube. Dark things, settings. History. Supercell. What the fuck, you know? Google's Hangout. How did I do it? Now I forgot how to do it. Google's Hangout. Oop, fuck. More way to sign in. Ah, come on. You gotta be bullshitting me. Fuck. Yeah, I know. Scam callers. Hey, scammers. Let me try to Google's Hangout. How in the fuck do I do that? You know? I had to on my fucking. Google's Hangout is shutting down in 2020. And that, 20, so it's shutting down in 2020. Google Hangout is getting phased out in chat overhaul news. Huh. We can go on Skype. You guys like to go on Skype? Yeah, Google's Hangout is going to be gone in 2020. We can do Skype if you like. Want to do Skype? Yeah. I might have a bunny mask on. If it's a bunny mask. Oh my god. I'm trying to go back to do that Google's Hangout thing. I don't even remember how I did it. Let's see. Hangout, switch account, Creator Studio. No, that's not it. Let's see. Channeling. Live streaming. Events. New live event. Here we go. That's it. Okay. Let me see. I found it. Go live now. There we go. I found it. Okay. Let me invite you. Chat. Oh wait, man. Let me try this. Okay. Give me your email address. There we go. Oh shit. Okay. Give me your email address. I found it. Let's see what happened. Live. Oh shit. Okay. Oh crap. Okay. Okay, I know how to do it now. I have to hang up this live video so we can do another live video. I'm gonna put you on my book, on my list. I got all the list of all the trolls' name. Oh, that's small F. Hey, Sterling Bruno, give me your email address. Anybody else want to come on live with me? Give me your email address. I'll invite you guys. It's not on Skype. We're on Google. It's gonna be on Google's Hangout. Anybody else want to go live with me? You want to talk against me? Talk with me? I don't care. I'm gonna have Steve here. He's gonna be on live. Come on, do you wanna Sterling? You wanna go on live? Yeah, I know you're not a troll, Sterling Bruno, but do you want to go on live? Just give me your email address. It'd be cool though, you know? Okay. This is gonna be first. We're gonna have 2. Okay. I'll be back. I'm gonna shut this one down. I'll be back, guys. End the live stream. We'll start all over.